Assalamu alaikum and welcome to Perspective. We'll be talking about the overall political situation at this time. We've seen the PTI's intra-party elections, the reaction to that. Of course, we've also seen political parties like the PMLN say that they seem to be an orchestrated effort and nothing about them seemed genuine. We'll be talking about the ramifications of these elections. Overall, of course, the Election Commission has also said that they will be giving out a schedule about a month prior to the election date, and as far as they're concerned, things seem to be going on schedule. Is there a momentum in place at this time? We've also seen the PPP, Bilawal Bhutto Zardari, and his father, of course, and the fact that he seems to have at this time the leadership of the PPP. There seems to be an old versus the new kind of a narrative. We'll be talking about that overall as far as his identity, separate or along with his father, or as far as the PPP is concerned. All of that today on Perspective. I have with me Dr. Abid Abbasi, who is a political analyst. Thank you for being with us today. Javed Jadoon Saab, who is a senior analyst. Thank you for joining us. And Zahid Gishkori, who is a senior journalist. Thank you for being with us. Abid Saab, like I said, we've seen the intra-party elections as far as the PTI is concerned. We've also seen the reaction to those intra-party elections. The fact that there is now, another candidate in place for the chairmanship apart from the former Prime Minister. And how do you see overall these elections and, the relevance of these elections to the participation of PTI as a party in the next upcoming elections?
Thank you very much, Mahrukh. Yes, this was an exercise to return the election symbol of BAT, which was the symbol of PTI before, and the chairman PTI, who was convicted in cases or disqualified by the Election Commission, by the Court of Law. But unfortunately, commenting upon these particular elections of PTI today, we should know that unfortunately in Pakistan the political parties have never or very rarely done any sort of exercise which is credible in terms of party elections. No political party in Pakistan has conducted true, genuine elections within the party elections. And the same exercise was carried out by PTI today, or we have seen.
So you're saying that this particular election is in no way different from all the other elections of all political parties?
You may call them somewhat more, mockery in the name of elections, but true, genuine, 100% the elections which can be called as elections have never been, held in any political party in Pakistan. Political parties for the same, because this is a requirement of the Election Commission of Pakistan that every political party has to have elections, party elections within, and all people know before the elections that who would be the president of party A and who would be the chairman of the party B and who would be the leader of party. There are no genuine elections in Pakistan, but these elections having just to get the symbol of BAT and to have a confidant in the office of the chairman instead of giving the portfolio of the chairman to anybody else who could play something different game than the wishes and wills of the former chairman or the former prime minister of this country. This exercise seems
why do you think, okay, let me come back to you. I want to go into why you think that Gohar Ali Khan, Barrister Gohar Ali Khan, was chosen to take part in these elections. Let me go to Javed Saab. Javed Saab, I don't know if you heard what Dr. Abid said, but he says that he doesn't feel that these elections are any different from the other elections of all political parties. Would you agree with that?
Yes, Mahrukh, thank you very much for having me. I think in order to understand the elections within the political parties, we need to understand our political and democratic culture. The analyst rightly pointed out that you really can't expect elections taking place in any mainstream political party which is going to elect the leadership in a democratic process. Most probably it is a South Asian phenomenon. Even in India, we see that political parties are, the dynastic politics is so deeply embedded. And same as the case in Pakistan. I think PTI is not the exception. Even Pakistan People's Party, Pakistan Muslim League, and most of the regional parties and the religious parties, except the Jamaat Islami, I think they all tread the same path.
Javed
They
Sahib,
really don't allow the.
is it more about, you know, of course, dynastic politics on the one hand, and also one-man show, so to speak, as far as the former Prime Minister is concerned. So, you know, for them, it's really about who they nominate to, you know, carry on the political process. We've seen this happen in the case of other political parties also. If we talk about, for example, the BPP, when, you know, we saw Yusuf Raza Gilani Sahab also was made Prime Minister, and this has happened with other political parties also.
I think we have a very recent example when the former Prime Minister Nawaz Sharif was disqualified. He never sort of gave chance to any other political leader except his own brother. I think it is the kind of a deja vu. But Mahrukh, why
No,
we
but I think you're
expecting
forgetting
so much
Abid Abbasi Sahab.
from one political party? Why we are so shocked about it? I think it is Pakistani democratic culture. It is typical Pakistani style that you feel so insecure that you really can't hold true democratic elections within the party so that the leadership comes up. We always talk about democracies. We give examples of British democracy and we give examples of other established democracies, but we really don't follow the path or the footsteps of other political entities in other democracies. So I think it is quite unfortunate that the true culture of democracy hasn't really flourished within the parties. That is why we don't see the true democracy in Pakistan as well, because democracy will start from the political entities. Then we can expect that the country can tread the path which is a democratic path, which is
Javed sir, but how do you
people's
see them? How?
representative path.
Okay, but the relevance of this election to you know, the PTI as a political party, and they're taking part in the next elections. You know, that seems to be that a step in that direction. Isn't that true?
I think it is a tactical move on part of the former chairman of Pakistan Tehreek Insaf. He probably felt that he is the most secure person whom he can entrust the leadership of the party. And whenever he is in a position, legally speaking, is
Gee, I think
from
this.
the center stage as well. Maybe some other political party leader within the party with some weight or following, I think would have been he would have felt little insecure as well. So it is the insecurity which every top leader in Pakistan probably goes through as far as leaving the elections to the party and allowing them to elect a person who can run the party on his own. And this gentleman, who has been elected, he is not going to be the true leader. He is going to be a kind of a tool as far as Pakistan Tehreek Insaf's former
But
chairman
Javed
is
sir,
concerned. He is going to.
the elections will be held, if I'm, correct me if I'm wrong, under his leadership. Isn't that true?
Mahrukh, if you look at the example which I have already given, as far as Pakistan Muslim League Noon is concerned, I think every decision was made from London. The Supremo, Mr. Nawaz Sharif, was the one who always decided what was right for the party and what was right for the government. So even the former Prime Minister Shahbaz Sharif, he had to fly back to London so many times to take instructions and guidance from Nawaz Sharif. I think this is going to happen in the case of Pakistan Tehreek Insaf
Javed
as
sir,
well. He will be running from
before
to
I
and
go to
from
Zahid Saab, I'm
to and
going
from
to,
the
you
jail.
know,
Yes.
I'm going to play the devil's advocate here. As far as the PMLN is concerned, they will contend that it is the popularity of the former Prime Minister Nawaz Sharif Saab, and the fact that, of course, you know, for these elections, his return was so important for them as a political party shows that it is his support, that it is his vote bank that invariably leads to the party's popularity, and that is why he has the mandate to make the decisions.
I think Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf would like to forward the same argument. They would say that if the former chairman of the party is the most popular leader in Pakistan. This is what they say. These are the arguments they always forward, and they believe that a person who just joined the party in 2022 really can't be the representative face of Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf. So I think ultimately Imran Khan will be calling the shots from jail, and he will have to take instructions from him, whatever decision the current chairman makes.
Let me come back to you on that. I want to talk about what shape you feel these elections will take for them as a political party. Ji, Zahid Saab, can you hear me? Zahid Saab?
Yes, Mahrukh.
Ji,
I can.
Zahid Saab, there's we're talking about these inter-party elections, and consequent to that, what kind of a shape do you think, for the, it seems, of course, challenging at this time with the former Prime Minister in jail as far as PTI is concerned, and for them to be able to participate in the coming election under this new leadership, so to speak. How do you see it happening, and all over as far as the process of awarding tickets is concerned, as far as of course, because in a lot of places it will mean finding new candidates, because we've seen a lot of defections as far as the party is concerned. How do you look at that?
I think, Mahrukh, so far the current situation was quite troubling for Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf, and the decision taken by the top leadership, somehow it's timely, very well taken decision, because they are going to meet the ultimate legal obligation set by Election Commission of Pakistan, and we are just on the corner. Elections are going to be held very soon, and party is facing huge problems, countless challenges, and the decision taken by Tehreek-e-Insaf, particularly to take Gohar Ali Khan, as my colleague panelist was saying, I endorse his viewpoint. Obviously, the vote bank and the popular figure is the only PTI Tehreek-e-Insaf chairman, founder chairman. And it's just a time shift, like an arrangement as set by PMLN. You remember that when Supreme Court of Pakistan took the decision that Nawaz Sharif was disqualified and he cannot run the party or lead the party, even their tickets and even their senators were not participate in Senate of Pakistan with the ticket of PMLN, and it was a very chaotic situation at that time. It happened to the party, but it has been happening in the past as well. Every popular leader has its vote bank, and the decision, in my point of view, the Gohar Ali Khan obviously is a very good lawyer, and he has a political record as well. He contested once on Pakistan People's Party ticket from Bonaire, and also Pashtun from Khyber Pakhtunkhwa. He is also one of the key members of lawyers of PTI. So I think it was a demand by the ECP as well, and so it's a good decision. But obviously, Chairman Imran Khan would be calling the shot. But the party here we are discussing that would be able to get out.
Will he be calling the shots? Because we've also recently seen, and I don't want to, whether the credibility of the audio we've seen, Khosa Saab say that it seems to be, it's an accurate audio. So, from the audio itself, although I don't believe in discussing audios per se, there is, the fact that there seems to be other people in his family that, this might be an issue as far as leadership of the party is concerned. Or no?
I think my information suggests that yes, there was a problem within the family. Even there is a serious difference of opinion, and there was also a very healthy say within the party that his sister Alima Khan could lead the party, and she was coming up as a major figure. And
But
still,
regardless,
being
Zahid
a
Sahab,
sister,
now, how, don't you think it'll be extremely challenging for anyone, other than the former Prime Minister himself, even him in these circumstances, if he were not in jail, where, in a lot of constituencies, it will demand having new people. We've seen a lot of defections as far as the PTI is
yes,
concerned.
you're right. There are, because many people were saying that Hameed Khan should lead the party. There was also a say in the party that Shah Mahmood Qureshi, because he is still entitled and can contest elections. He was the vice chairman of the party. Even Parvez Ilahi could have led the party. He is the president to the party. Many other very loyal to the party still exist here in Pakistan. Still they are contesting the party case on different fronts. So anyone could be from these loyal founders and the very seasoned and influential could have lead. But the question is why this gentleman was chosen. So there are many ifs and buts on this issue, that why the decision was taken. But one thing was very important with the party. The party has a very strong support in Khyber Pakhtunkhwa.
But is it because also, Zahid Sahab, the fact that he's a lawyer and, it was once being said, I don't know how accurate this is, and please correct me if I'm wrong, that, they probably want to field candidates who are lawyers on those seats where, there may be defections or there may be difficulty in finding candidates. Maybe that is one of those reasons.
I think to nominate and then elect as a chairman, it was not the reason. But yes, there is a party overall strategy to counter what's going on right now on different legal challenges on many fronts. The top tier leadership and the second tier leadership and even the third tier, they are just in the height, and we don't know. Some are in the jails, and whether they would be able to contest the elections or not. There was a strategy by the party leadership that because lawyers and the party, the other segment of the society who are just supporting the party and can take stand and legally protected as well, and they have more courage, in fact, as compared to other political leaders who could not face the court, who could not face the accountability institution, or for the one reason or the other, they could not come up in the public and not mobilize the people. That's why they were planning to bring lawyers, maximum lawyers, to contest elections from different parts of the country, because there is a vote bank of the leadership.
Do you think that he will be able to mobilize these candidates? You think that there will be he will be able to deal with the challenges that are at this time being faced by this political party?
This is a very difficult question and also very vital one, of whether they would be able to mobilize people in their respective constituencies. For example, any constituency, let's take the Hameed Azhar, the PTI leader is perhaps out of country, and someone else contests the election on behalf of Hameed Azhar on his seat. It's a strong constituency for PTI. Either he or she would be able to win this election. Obviously, this race is not overall an individual base by having the vote bank. I see it in a contest level with at least three political parties like PTI, PMLN, and Pakistan People's Party. And obviously, Pakistan People's Party has a vote bank and popular shape with Bilawal Bhutto Zardari, not even with Asif Ali Zardari. The Bilawal Bhutto Zardari is the major face, which has the vote bank across the country.
I want to talk about that, Zahid Sahab. Let me come back to you. I want to talk about Bilawal Bhutto Zardari and of course the older leadership as far as the PPP is concerned. Let me come back. Abid Sahab, the same question to you. We've seen the PPP talk about the PMLN and say that they electing somebody the fourth time. How how do you think that it would be possible for Bilawal Bhutto Zardari to separate himself as, a candidate, of course, who's going to contest for the first time, but he's also part of, the same family and the same leadership. Do you think he will be able to make that separation? Because there's clearly an attempt to do so by saying that, new leadership as far as the PPP is concerned. They're trying to, for them, it seems to be that reason for asking as far as the votes of the youth are concerned. He's talking about the fact he's a new leader. He's talking about the fact that he is young, dynamic, hasn't been PM before, hasn't, to give him a chance. But is it possible to separate himself from that whole leadership? Is this an attempt to do that?
Before answering this question, I want to comment a bit about your previous question that Gohar Ali Khan, the elections of Gohar Ali Khan as the president of the chairman of the Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf, your resolve was having weight that it was told to the chairman PTI, the founder chairman and former prime minister, that he should rely on the liars community because they are more in position to face or resist the pressure from various quarters. And some of the people are of the view that the Gohar Ali Khan remain in the chamber of Chaudhry Etazaz Ahsan, who is a stalwart in Lahir community and is a senior politician. He has suggested, because the norms are there, that if the chairman is absent or not in position, in his absentia, the vice chairman is most probably holding the office of the chairman, but Shah Muhammad Qureshi was not trusted in this way.
But he's also not, he's also in jail.
Yes, they are in jail, but they are not convicted so far. Similarly, the head of the party, the president of the party, the new office was created for Chaudhry Parvez Ilahi. He was also not given. Similarly, the families, the Alima Khan, you rightly mentioned, and the Bushra Bibi, the wife of the former chairman PTI, they were not interested in this job. But a liar was chosen for this very purpose because it was a strategy, it was a well-taken strategy that the liars should be given the tickets, the burden of, they should be shifted to the liars to resist the sort of pressure which is coming from various quarters. Second, you have mentioned about the Bilawal Bhutto Zardari. I think he is just creating a space for himself, being a young dynamic leader of his party. He is just giving the people that the old guards have not succeeded to deliver to the people of this country. So on behalf of his performance, which the People's Party feels that in Sindh province they have delivered a lot, particularly in the field of health and the women empowerment, and then the in social sector like the flood-ridden areas, the people were given some sort of relief. So on the basis of that, Bilawal Bhutto is actually aspiring to get the support of the youth of the country, because we all know that Pakistan is a country having a huge majority of youth.
So it shows that there is a realization, a growing one in political parties, that they will have to reach that voter which is going to be added as far as the young voter is concerned. And for them, this growing realization is leading them to perhaps bring about new slogans, or perhaps bring about things that they feel will appeal to that youth.
Actually, he wanted to present himself as a fresh leader, as disconnected from the old guards, or disconnected from the old politics, or giving hopes to the youth of the country to muster the support to become the prime minister, or at least win the elections.
Let me go to Javed Saab on this. Javed Saab, disconnected, I believe, is a word that Dr. Abid here has used. And do you think that it is that attempt to disconnect himself with the past of the PPP, in the sense that, of course, PPP has been in power before, and therefore it has a certain baggage associated with that power for any political party which has been in power before? Do you think this is an attempt to disassociate himself from that?
Mahrukh, I think the main paradox of Pakistan People's Party is that they have been confined to Sindh province. And even there, right now, they feel a bit insecure that they might not be able to stage a comeback when the elections are held and form a government in Sindh province as well, because so many political parties and alliances are trying to get together against them. And the rhetoric recently we have seen the chairman of Pakistan People's Party, Mr. Zardari, not trusting Bilawal Bhutto Zardari as the future prime minister, because party has been advocating that Mr. Bilawal Bhutto Zardari would be the next prime minister. This we have seen a lot of rhetoric coming from Pakistan People's Party. Then all of a sudden, Zardari himself, his father, and the co-chairperson, dashing the hopes of Mr. Bilawal Bhutto Zardari as the next credible leader. I mean, that was devastating for the young politician, because even being 35 years old, he is not being trusted. He is not being sort of given the green signal to go ahead with his ambitions. He has been talking about his own personal ambitions, and then I think he started firing back his own father as well. So Mahrukh, we need to understand the conundrum holistically. The electorate in most of the developing countries see the authoritarian leaders as the leaders who can deliver, and they don't really trust the political parties and their leadership as the entities who could deliver as far as their aspirations are concerned. So what is happening on the main stage out there is playing out the same book, and most probably once again the politicians are trying to vindicate the fears of the people. If you look at Pakistan, 250 million people still in total delusion. They don't even know what is going to happen next, which political party or alliance is going to come into power, and I think most importantly, Mahrukh, they haven't seen any manifestos of the political parties which should have come out, and people should have debated which political party has the manifesto which is a practical manifesto and which represents the myriads of problems and complexities, including economic, political, and social, which Pakistan is faced with.
Do you think Javed Sahab, manifestos are going to be important for the voter of this election, in your opinion?
Absolutely. Mahrukh, why it is going to be important for the electorate in Pakistan? Because 65% population of Pakistan is a young population. We are really underestimating and understating what the young people are thinking in Pakistan. You give them the opportunity and they will tell you how disappointed, dismayed, and dejected they are with the political elite in Pakistan. We always talk about the democracy and democratic culture, but we never talk about what people of Pakistan want. And when we talk about people of Pakistan, I think we are talking about
of this country, it is not enough for the people of this country to be disappointed and despondent. I mean, the people of this country, of course, should vote, and they should, vote whichever way they feel, and whichever party they feel is going to give them the solution to the problems that they are facing. Are we seeing that kind of resolve, or is it just, in your opinion, despondency and disappointment?
The despondency and disappointment is primarily stemming from non-delivery of services as far as the political parties are concerned. I think the social media platforms, and as I pointed out so many times, that we are forgetting one thing, most important factor, the educated middle classes in Pakistan. I mean, Mahrukh, look what happened in the recent 5-6 months. The campaign led by Pakistan military has been able to deliver what no political party was able to do. That they did a crackdown against.
I mean, I think this will take the discussion perhaps in another direction. But I think that the ownership that the people of this country need to take. When we talk about the educated middle class, I'm going to take Zahid Saab on this also, is perhaps missing. And I want your opinion on this also, and Zahid Saab's later. Isn't that true?
Mahrukh, I mean, you have to have a very holistic and overarching view of Pakistan's politics. When I say that, why people mistrust,
but are we taking ownership, and do we want to change things enough? Do we want to vote for people we feel can bring about that change, whether they are going to be the fourth time PM or they're not? I mean, the question is that we should vote for people we feel can bring about the changes we want, and just disappointment and despondency is not enough.
Mahrukh, why can't political parties be upfront with the people? Why can't they tell them, look, we made mistakes in the past. We are not going to repeat the same old mistakes. We will be working for your own betterment, for your development, socio-economic uplift. I mean, the squabbling politicians, what
Let's
kind of
talk
a
about the
message they are
voter
conveying to
turnout.
the
For
people, perhaps?
example, let me go to Zahid Saab. I'm just going to interrupt you. I'll come back to you. Zahid Saab, the voter turnout was, 55%, if I'm right, in the last election. Do you expect there to be that kind of a voter turnout this time, or is it just going to be disappointment and despondency?
It's premature to say. So many things, still have to happen, and we hope that this turnout may cross 50% this time. But unfortunately, this election are going to held in February, and usually it's a very cold season in different parts of the country. We have to see that either political parties would bring people out to vote because it's their responsibility. But one of the major things we can plead at the national television screen that at least young people, as we were discussing, that 65% are young voters, mean that 60 million plus are quite young voters, and they should come out. And if the turnout remains 50 plus, even 40 plus, that's good. But it should be at least 60 plus because this country needs this. And Election Commission of Pakistan is also ready and is going with the plan. And there are some speculation that rumors and stories in different international media even that election could be delayed. But focus should be that elections are going to be held. It's responsibility of all political parties to mobilize their voters, to make a momentum. We have yet to see it in different parts of the countries. Yes, we have seen Bilawal Bhutto Zardari, we have seen little corner meetings of PMLN, even the party claiming that it's making full-fledged scene and mobilizing voters everywhere, these two parties, and even PTI is also mobilizing in Khyber Pakhtunkhwa shape of different worker conventions. But as we were discussing, you were discussing a very important question: that does Bilawal Bhutto Zardari qualify to become an ex-prime minister?
No, my question was that is it possible for him to disassociate himself from his his party and their earlier leadership?
If you could take my opinion, that as so far I study as a student, that I think Bilawal Bhutto Zardari does qualify. He has political credential to lead the country if people elect him, and if his party just grab maximum numbers, because we still have to see a number of support for the party, but still we have more than 2 months, and there are many ifs and buts. We cannot say that which party is taking the lead at the moment. The different parts of the country are still, we can see them as a silent spectators. Political leadership and the electables and the former member national assemblies.
Let me come back to you. I'm going to go to Abid Saab also. But when we say that Bilawal Bhutto Zardari Saab is qualified, we can Abid Saab then, as far as the PMLN leadership is concerned. Of course, if there were to be, the second tier leadership or younger leadership within the PMLN were also, to contest, and by that same analogy, they would also have the credentials. They would also, have the same argument of not having governed before, of also having, as far as the party is concerned, in the absence of the former Prime Minister, of having held it together. All of those arguments would then apply to them also. Isn't that true?
Bilawal having some sort of, distinct credential as well. I agree with Zahid Gishkori said that Bilawal Bhutto Zardari has, a lot of credentials to become a potential candidate because we have seen his performance in the last 16 months of the coalition government. Perhaps he was the only minister who was seen, by the people on this, in the ground, and the way he talked to the international leaders, the way he got the support for flood-ridden people in Sindh, and the way he was vocal, he was so confident while being interviewed by international media. Whenever he was so vocal, and he has learned a lot about the complexity of the politics of Pakistan.
But by that same analogy, so has Maryam Nawaz.
But Maryam Nawaz nobody has
She
seen
has
that
also held her party
I'm
together
talking
while the
about
former Prime Minister was not here.
foreign ministership of Bilawal Bhutto Zardari, his performance of that. Yes, Maryam also having potential. She traveled a lot during his father absence. She ran the party and she has shown some credentials. But at the same time, Bilawal is also a foreign.
So I'm saying that in that sense, it is that second-tier leadership of political parties which have governed before.
Yes, they have not governed before, but they can play a good role, because it is too easy to criticize theoretically the dynastic politics in Pakistan, but the ground realities are different. Bilawal's mother was murdered on the road. His grandfather was hanged. Similarly, Nawaz Sharif was put behind the bar for so many times. He was ousted from the power for 3 times. These leaders, despite having their failures and their flaws, they have given a lot to this nation as well.
And Maryam Nawaz went to jail with her father.
Yeah, she was
so,
also
I mean, it's not just that she has. So I'm saying that, in that sense, of course, these political parties have a history. They also have, what they've given to the country, and they also have, their leadership that they have sustained in the past. However, may we look at it, like you said. However, of course, the elections, as far as the momentum is concerned, we still have to see, which side, which way things go. At this time, we are looking at all political parties doing their best as far as electioneering is concerned. As far as the PMLN is concerned, it's working on its as far as awarding of elections are concerned, their parliamentary boards, all of that. The PPP also, we've seen Bilawal Bhutto Zardari vociferously speak about how he to be given that chance to govern. As far as the PTI is concerned, now that we've had the intra-party elections, we are going to see perhaps more campaigning from them, perhaps more, perhaps awarding of tickets, all of that. But it certainly is too early to say what kind of a momentum we will see closer to the elections. Let's hope that we do have, a huge turnout as far as voters are concerned, and let's hope that people are willing to put their despondency, disappointment, whatever one may call it, and vote for whichever the political party they feel can deliver for them. Thank you so much for joining us today on Perspective.